In March 2020, the United States made a move that stunned the world. For the first time in modern history, a sitting foreign president was publicly accused by the U.S. government of running an international criminal operation. Not a rebel leader, not a warlord, but the president of a sovereign nation. His name was Nicolás Maduro, the leader of Venezuela. And the man who authorized this unprecedented action was U.S. President Donald Trump. This moment would shake Latin America, redefine international pressure, and turn diplomacy into something closer to a global manhunt. Nicolás Maduro's rise to power was unusual. He was not born into privilege or military rank. He began his life as a bus driver and union organizer, eventually becoming a close ally of Hugo Chavez, the revolutionary socialist leader, who dominated Venezuelan politics for over a decade. When Chavez died in 2013, Maduro inherited the presidency. But he also inherited a fragile system built almost entirely on oil wealth. When global oil prices collapsed, Venezuela collapsed with them. Hyperinflation wiped out savings overnight. Food and medicine became scarce. Hospitals failed. Millions of Venezuelans fled the country, creating one of the largest migration crises in the world. As Venezuela fell into chaos, allegations began to surround Maduro's government. U.S. intelligence agencies claimed that Venezuela had become a major transit hub for cocaine, moving from South America into the United States. According to American investigators, powerful figures inside the Venezuelan government were protecting drug traffickers and working with foreign cartels. For years, these accusations remained largely diplomatic talking points. No U.S. president had ever gone beyond sanctions and condemnation. That changed when Donald Trump entered office. Trump viewed foreign policy differently from his predecessors. He preferred direct pressure over negotiation and disruption over tradition. To him, Nicolás Maduro was not just an authoritarian leader, but the head of what he described as a criminal regime. In 2019, Trump made a shocking decision. The United States officially recognized opposition leader Juan Guaidó as the legitimate president of Venezuela, declaring Maduro illegitimate. Venezuelan government assets were frozen. Oil revenues were blocked. Sanctions tightened further, squeezing an already collapsing economy. Trump openly stated that Maduro's time in power was coming to an end. Then, in March 2020, the situation escalated dramatically. The U.S. Department of Justice unsealed indictments against Nicolás Maduro and several top Venezuelan officials. The charges were severe: narco-terrorism, drug trafficking, conspiracy to flood the United States with cocaine. Prosecutors alleged that Maduro had worked directly with Colombian cartels and used drugs as a weapon against America. The announcement alone sent shockwaves across the world. But what came next made history. The U.S. government announced a $15 million reward for information, leading to the arrest or conviction of Nicolás Maduro. The same method used against terrorist leaders and cartel bosses was now being applied to a sitting president. Maduro instantly became one of the most wanted individuals under U.S. law. Though he remained in power inside Venezuela, beyond its borders, he was now treated as a fugitive. He began limiting his travel, avoiding countries where arrest could be possible. His inner circle tightened. Defections increased. Allies were arrested abroad. Others disappeared. Trump never sent troops to capture Maduro, but the pressure campaign was relentless. The United States increased naval operations in the Caribbean to intercept drug shipments. Intelligence cooperation expanded across Latin America. Financial networks linked to Maduro's government were dismantled. One by one, key figures connected to the regime were detained outside Venezuela. The message was clear: the net was tightening. In 2020, global tension reached another peak when a small group of armed men attempted to enter Venezuela by sea in a failed operation, later known as Operation Gideon. Maduro claimed it was a U.S.-backed plot to capture or kill him. The United States denied direct involvement, but the story fueled global speculation. For the first time, the idea of a foreign president being captured no longer seemed impossible. Even without direct military action, the psychological pressure was immense. Despite everything, Maduro survived. He maintained control of the military, the courts, and food distribution systems. Fear and loyalty kept his inner circle intact. Trump chose not to invade, believing that economic and legal pressure would eventually force change. When Trump left office, the indictments remained. The bounty remained. The charges were never withdrawn. To this day, Nicolás Maduro continues to rule Venezuela, while technically being wanted by the United States. His presidency exists in a strange state of contradiction. Inside Venezuela, he holds power. Outside it, he is treated as an accused criminal. What Donald Trump did changed how international power could be applied. It showed that a president could be targeted not with bombs, but with law. Not with invasion, but with exposure. Trump did not capture the Venezuelan president, but he did something just as historic. He transformed a sitting head of state into a hunted figure under international scrutiny. The hunt that shook Latin America did not end with an arrest. It ended with a precedent, and that precedent continues to shape global politics today.